So today I'm doing a makeup tutorial using the Colourpop Makeup by Shayla Perception eyeshadow palette. It's so pretty. I hadn't had a chance to use it yet, so I really wanted to use it in a tutorial. And plus, because I'm wearing this kind of orange and purple striped dress, it's like a full length dress, it's from Zara. I really wanted to kind of do a tutorial which went with this. So I've got a little bit of purple on my lower lash line, orange on the top, and then I'm also using one of her new Luxe lipsticks, and this is in the shade Come On Sis, and it's a really gorgeous kind of mauvey shade. And plus her entire range obviously is very much geared towards women of colour. Not that I've ever found Colourpop to be non-inclusive. However, obviously Makeup by Shayla has got very deep skin tone. So this is the kind of palette that a lot of women would have loved to use. And I personally think it's amazing actually for all skin tones, not just deeper skin tones. So yeah, so that's it. So I really just wanted to put together this kind of glowy orangey sort of makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Hello everybody. So first I'm going to be priming my eyes using the Louise eyeshadow base in the shade Rumour. This is just to make sure that your eyeshadow stays in place all day and then it looks nice and vibrant. Followed by the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in the shade 300. I forgot to prime my face, but I already had primer on, so it's fine. And then I'm just using a Real Techniques beauty sponge to apply it all over my face. I know I normally use a brush, but I just felt like being a little bit extra in this video and just trying something out a little bit different for you guys, but I generally do use a brush. But this is quite a stiff sponge, so that I find that it bounces everything across the face very evenly. So I am just applying one layer of this all over my face. This is one of my favorite foundations, by the way. Did my eyebrows off camera, and then I'm using the Colourpop No Filter concealer under the eyes, and then I'm using the lighter shade, which is medium, to highlight the high points of my face. So this acts as both as a concealer as well as a highlighter. And then I'm just using the same beauty sponge that you saw me using with the foundation to blend it out under my eyes. I normally go backwards and forwards about 3-4 times just so that it blends into the foundation, so there's not an obvious line between obviously the normal coloured foundation compared to the lighter part of the concealer. So make sure that it's blended in evenly into each other. And then to set that, I'm using the luxury powder from Makeup Revolution in the shade Banana, and I'm applying it to all those areas that you saw me applying the concealer using a Real Techniques contour brush. And then I generally tend to leave this on for a couple of seconds before, as you can see, I wipe it away. So this makes sure that my concealer does not move all day and that there is no creasing under my eyes as well, which is obviously amazing in the summer months. And then I'm using my Sigma Large Fluff brush and the same powder just to apply it all over my face. This is just so that everything is set, the foundation is set, and there's no moving about throughout the day. And I'm just prepping my lips using my Carmex lip balm, which I tend to use every single day because it's my favourite. Now we're using the Colourpop Perception eyeshadow palette from the Makeup by Shayla collection, and the first shade I'm using is called Unbothered. And then I'm just using a teeny tiny brush to apply this to the brow bone. It's a really nice kind of ivory gold highlighting shade, which I love to use on the brow bone as well as the tear duct. Then the next shade I'm using is called Culture, and I am going backwards and forwards in the crease using a Morphe M330 brush. This is a beautiful kind of orangey brown shade, and as you can see, a little bit goes a really long way. I did not have to dip my brush in more than once to get this intensity to build up. Then the next shade I'm using is called Thick, and then I am using exactly the same brush that you saw me use, but I'm using the kind of pointed part of it to go directly into the crease rather than above it, and then I'm blending it into the lighter shade above. Then the next shade I'm using is called Revenge, and I'm placing this in the outer V using a Morphe M502 brush. This is so that I can give my eyes a bit of dimension, and again using a deeper kind of orangey brown shade. And then I'm using the same Morphe M330 brush just to blend around the edges so that there are no harsh lines visible whatsoever, because they are a no-no, people. Now the next shade I'm using is called Strut and Slay, and I am applying this all over the lid using a MAC 239 eyeshadow brush. This is a gorgeous kind of shimmery golden orange shade,
looks amazing. And then I'm using that same brush just to blend around the edges. Then the next shade I'm using is called September, which is Shayla's birthday month as well as mine. People, it's coming up. Happy birthday. And I'm using the Royal and Langnickel Pro Pencil Blender brush, and I'm applying it to the lower lash line, followed by my Rimmel, Kajal, Scandaleyes black eyeliner. You know the one, the usual. And then I'm using the shade called Spill the Tea, and I'm using a MAC pencil brush to apply it to the tear duct, followed by Anastasia Beverly Hills Tinted Brow Gel in the shade Chocolate. This is just to set my eyebrows, and as you guys know, I always tend to do this last, so that if any eyeshadow or powder or foundation has got on my eyebrows, this kind of removes it and neatens it all up. Then I'm using my NYC Liquid Eyeliner. As you guys know, this is my favourite eyeliner, which I generally tend to buy when I'm either in America or Canada. But when I was last in New York, I couldn't get it at all, so this is thanks to my mum, who picked up 10 for me. Thanks mum, love you loads. And then I'm using the Total Temptation mascara from Maybelline just to prep my eyelashes before I apply the Lilly lashes in the style Havana, which is tapered, going very kind of soft from the middle to the outwards part of the eye, so you get a very kind of cat eye look wearing these eyelashes, which I love. And I'm just placing them the way that I want them to be using my Tweezerman tweezers. Any tweezers will do, to be honest. And then I'm using the Push Up Angel mascara from Maybelline for my lower lash line. Now they are finished. Now moving on to the face, I'm using Colourpop's CA Dreamin' powder bronzer, and I am applying this to my cheekbones using a, can't remember, a contour brush. I will list it below for you guys. This is again to make my face look less flat, less two-dimensional, a bit more 3D after applying the foundation, which can make you look very kind of one-coloured. So we're just giving some dimension back to the face. And then I am using a Morphe G3 brush to contour my nose. I wanted to go a little bit more sharper with my contouring on my nose. That's when I tend to use a tiny eyeshadow brush rather than a big blush brush. Then I'm using another Morphe contouring brush. I'm using the same Makeup Revolution powder just to sharpen up, tidy up the areas where I've made a mess, and just to make everything a lot more uniform and to make it all look a little bit more symmetrical. And I'm just brushing it all off with my Real Techniques contour brush, which as you can see is a very versatile brush. I highly recommend it. And then I'm just using the same brush with no extra product, just to kind of lightly go over those like kind of sharp lines that you can see to make it a lot more natural. And then I'm using Clockwork Highlighting Cheek Duo from Colourpop, and I'm using the shade called Tick. And I am using a blush brush from Royal and Langnickel to apply this all over my cheekbones. It's a lovely peachy orange sort of brush. It's quite soft and subtle. And then I'm using Tok, which is the highlighting shade, and I'm going in with a Morphe M310 large fan brush to apply this to the cheekbones, as well as the tip of the nose and then the bridge of the nose as well, to create that ski jump effect look on the nose, to make it look a little bit more sharp. And then followed by my Cupid's bow. This is a trick that will make your lips look a lot fuller. Then I'm using Colourpop's Lippy Pencil in the style Dopey, and I am applying this very liberally all over the lips before I blend them together, because it's a very creamy kind of lip liner. And then I am using the Shayla Colourpop Luxe lipstick in the style Come On Sis. This is such a pretty mauvey pink shade, look amazing on all skin tones. And then that is it for the look. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye!